How are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Dave Grohl of Them Crooked Vultures and Foo Fighters. The last time you were here, there was a lot of talk about maybe we were seeing the last Foo Fighters show.
That was one of the last Foo Fighters shows. I think we did maybe one more gig in Canada after we played this one, but we knew that we were going to take a big break because by the time we played this gig, we'd been out for maybe pretty much 4 years straight, and we'd gone from making a double album, touring that, then to going on an acoustic tour, then to going straight into making another album, then to going out on another year and a half long tour. So, and there's babies crawling all over our houses and wives that need some help, and so we decided that we'd go home and sort of take a break. But more than that, we really wanted to give the audience a break because the last thing you want to do is overstay your welcome with anyone, and we'd been making records pretty consistently for every 2 years or something, and we toured so much. And also the band had gotten to the point where we had reached this place that none of us had ever imagined the band being, like selling out stadiums and stuff like that, which is awesome. I love it. It's great. But after you sell out 2 nights at Wembley Stadium, you say goodnight and you think, where the fuck are we going to play next? Like, there's nowhere left. So then you realize, well, it's time to go home and maybe, reinvent the whole deal.
Well, you weren't home very long. I mean, John Paul Jones says that you're to blame for this new band.
Well, Josh and I have known each other for a long time.
You were working with Queens of the Stone Age for a while, I think.
Yeah, but I met him in 1992, I guess. He was in a band called Caius.
Oh, I love Caius.
Yeah, Caius were great. And I went to go see him play, and I loved him. And we have lots of mutual friends in the Los Angeles area. And so, I love the way he plays guitar, and I love the way he writes songs, and I loved Caius, and I loved Queens of the Stone Age. And then I got to play on a Queens of the Stone Age record, and then I got to be in Queens of the Stone Age, which as a drummer, is a dream come true, because anyone who's ever heard a Queens of the Stone Age record knows that it's all about the drums and Josh and the guitar, and it's very rhythmic.
And very super blues, too. I mean, just really bluesy.
That's the cool thing about, a lot of my favorite players are the ones that can, for lack of a better word, just jam, And to me, proficiency and sort of the technical side of playing, that's not really what turns me on. I like it when a player can sit down and in their playing you can sense their sense of humor, or you can it's almost like a conversation, because I'm not the greatest drummer in the world, but when people watch me play the drums, they can tell that I'm a jackass, I have too much energy, and it's just like setting up these punchlines the whole time. But anyway, so Josh and I have a connection musically that I just don't have with anyone else. And as a drummer, when you find someone like that, it's a special thing. And then I worked with John on a Foo Fighters record and asked him, I guess it was about a year ago, I bumped into him in London, and I said, hey, I got this project I think might be kind of fun. Me and my buddy Josh are going to do something outside of our bands. And he kind of went, oh, yeah, right. And then I didn't hear from him for a while. And then a month later, he called and said, hey, when do you think you're going to do it? So I called Josh, fuck, man, I think he actually wants to do it. This is amazing. And so we all met at my 40th birthday party, which I had at a Medieval Times restaurant. I had 250 of my friends. I rented out the bar and invited all my friends to this Medieval Times restaurant. And I sat John Paul Jones right next to Josh so they would get to know each other. And there's jousting and lasers and smoke machines and shit. Everyone's eating with their hands. We had these paper crowns on. And so I wound up in the men's room smoking pot at closing time on my 40th birthday. I was really disappointed. And so, but then a couple of days later, we sat down at Josh's studio and we just kind of plugged in. We didn't have any songs. We just started jamming. And the first jam was maybe about half an hour long. But I knew within the first 2 or 3 minutes, holy shit, this is the best fucking band I've ever been in. And because John, John he's an incredibly gifted musician. Anything that he picks up, he plays with feel, he plays with passion. He's he's a classically trained fucking genius. But he rips on anything. He'll pick up a mandolin and just blow your head off, and everybody knows what he can do with a bass guitar. And so, and watching the two of them go at each other, I get to sit there and watch those two every night, and it's awesome. So then we just started making a record, and we do a couple weeks at a time. Record for a couple weeks, take 2 weeks off. Record for a couple weeks, take 2 weeks off.
To be able to do it at your own pace without anyone, kind of pushing.
Yeah. Well, nobody knew. We kept it a secret for 8 months. Nobody knew, and that was the best part. I'm actually relieved now that I can talk about it, because I used to, I had to keep it a secret. It's like I had some secret lover for 8 months, and I was trying to hide her away from everybody. I couldn't tell anybody.
So can you talk about the record? When is it coming out?
No, you'll see.
Hey, thanks so much, man. Nice to meet you.
See ya.
Take care.
See ya.